For the future, New Era Prep, we plan to take over. I'm kidding, but you know, we do see ourselves being bigger than we are right now. This is just the beginning. It's only a year in, but we have huge ideas coming and you know, huge things that we plan to change within the county as far as a media aspect and also a community aspect. I'm Kenneth Stevens, co-founder of New Era Prep and COO. New Era Prep came into existence about a year ago. We're formerly known as Prep Builders, but now it's New Era Prep. Me and my best friend, Zavon Christopher, he's our CEO and co-founder. He's like the head of this whole thing. And myself, Kenneth Stevens, we both you know, came up with the concept, and we got a great team behind us with Nigel Tobias and Keith Ford. All right, so we cover a range of sports dealing with high school and college. A primary sport is football, basketball, you know, that's some of the high sports, but we do cover all sports. We don't just limit it to those sports because they are the most popular. But as far as going into detail about what we do exactly at these games, mostly videography, photography, and journalism. So we report on the game, stats, highlights, and you know, just updates of the overall game. And we may highlight certain players if you know they have a great story of something we feel like the community needs to know about pertaining to a player besides their athletic abilities. New Era Prep's primary goal is to put our three mainstays together, and that's primarily our sports, education, and community service. So sports, you know, we have our athletes, we have our sports, we go out, videography, things of that nature. Education, we want to have workshops where we educate kids on various topics, maybe financial literacy, you know, just maybe reading and mentoring, just different things like that. But with community service, we want to bring our kids in the community into our business and who are interested in, you know, photography, videography, and things of that nature. And you know, we don't just target student athletes, we also target students that are interested in things that we you know, we deal with. We wanted to create this organization because our main goal is something that we live by when we're out in the field. We want to make sure that we cover these student athletes and students how we wish we were covered in high school. It's not that, you know, media outlets did a bad job with it, but we feel like we could take it a step further, and we're a little closer to age with the student population that we have right now. So we just made it a point to, you know, be out here, you know, and give these kids what they need, and you know, maybe get them to the next level, get the students to the next level, you know, get this student story out there. You know, we got kids like in Boca who got 5.0 GPA and nobody knows about those kids, and that's a student, that's just a student. Not talking about a student athlete, we're talking about just a student. So you know, we want to have both sides of the spectrum and not just our student athletes. We felt like we were the right people, you know, to do that and mesh those two together. Zavon, he came up with the name. You know, it was like brainstorming because we were working with Prep Builders before. That was another company, but then we were like, you know, we can't have anything kind of close to that. And you know, we felt like I mentioned before, that we wanted to revamp sports and, you know, do some real coverage, you know, and get really close with the students and, you know, give them, you know, more of what they're looking for on every social media platform and, you know, websites and things of that nature. So we were like, you know what? We're gonna do it like nobody else is doing it, so we might as well call ourselves New Era. It's a new era, we here, the time is now, we're gonna do it. And covering games, we mostly use, you know, maybe a camera, or we use our phones for these games because we get stuff out really, really quick and use social media. So a lot of kids are on like Instagram, Snapchat, you know, and Twitter. So with our phones, it's a little bit quicker, but we also have video cameras that we use. We use mics, we have pin-on mics. It's just, we have various ways of how we cover games, but we usually do highlights and interviews. That we're most known for is some of our interviews. Some have been really funny, some have been heartfelt, you know, with players, you know, sharing their personal stories, and you know, people in the outside world getting to know these people outside of the athletic realm, and some of these students, you know, outside of the classroom. So that's probably our, you know, biggest piece in covering sports and academics. We want to touch everything. You know, we don't just want to be on sports. Sports will take care of itself. Education will take care of itself. You know, the students are there. The student athletes will always be there. But who can you have there to push it, make it better? Who can evolve it, you know, and just add that little piece to it? And I feel like us doing that, that's our future, is to, you know, hone in on what's not being done and what needs to be improved in Palm Beach County, and that matter, the whole South Florida, and eventually the United States.